So I feel like a lot of crypto channels out there, they go ahead and they overcomplicate actually quite simple concepts. And so in this video, what I want to do is, even before I jump into liquidity pools, which is going to be a video coming up very soon, I want to explain liquidity and what that means in crypto. So very simply, liquidity in crypto means that there's an ability to convert a certain coin or token into cash or trade it for another token or coin without drastically affecting the price. So think of it as a simple question. Can I buy or sell my crypto without making the current price change by a lot, relatively speaking? If the answer is yes, it is considered a liquid market. If the answer is no, it is considered an illiquid market. Now remember, there's something called an order book where people have placed their asking price to sell and others put their bids to buy. I made a whole separate video on that, worked really hard on it, bid, ask, spread in crypto. Make sure to check it out, it will clear up a lot of this. When a match is made between a bid and an ask, a trade is made, a transaction occurs, and the current price reflects that. That's all price is. It's the last time a buyer and a seller agreed on a price and a transaction occurred, to put it simply. Now, what exactly affects liquidity? Well, there's a couple of factors. The first is the trading volume. Very simply, it's just a measure of how much a crypto was traded, typically in the last 24 hours. The second one is the depth of the order book. How many units are willing to be bought and sold at specified prices in the order book. Again, I made a whole dedicated video to the order book. It's called Bid, Sell, Ask Order Book in Crypto Explained. So definitely check it out. It will clear up everything. Now, the third factor is the spread. This is the difference between the lowest asking price and the highest bidding price. Now, for a market to be liquid, you want the spread to not be too far apart. If there is sufficient liquidity in the specific crypto market, those wishing to buy and those wishing to sell at this very moment will get to do so pretty much at the market price and with ease. If there is insufficient liquidity, those wishing to sell will receive substantially less than the market price, especially if it is a big order. And those wishing to buy will pay substantially more than the market price, especially if it is a large buy order. The bigger the buy order, the higher the average purchase price will be, and likely the bigger the sell order, then the lower their average price will be respectively. So let's use an example so that we can go ahead and examine the three examples that I provided for factors that dictate liquidity, and that's trading volume, depth of order book, and the spread. So let's say you have a lot of Pokemon cards, okay? A lot of base edition holographic Pokemon cards. You want to go and see if you can go and sell these, but maybe you even just want to trade these, and maybe you want to buy some from other traders that are trading theirs. So let's say you go and search for Pokemon Trade Show, right? Now, what do you wish to happen if you're going to show up and want to make a good deal on these cards? Well, you're going to want to make sure that you choose a trade show that has a lot of people in it and a track record for having really high volume traded, which means a lot of people show up with a lot of cash looking to buy, and a lot of people show up with a lot of cards willing to sell it. And you want to make sure that not only are people showing up, but there's actual trading occurring. So actually the people that are putting out holographic Charizard for $2,000, a holographic Mewtwo for $1,000, that people are actually buying this. And the more that do, the trading volume goes up. And this lets you know that you will most likely be able to trade things. Now, the second factor we mentioned was the depth of the order book. What does this mean? The depth of the order book simply means that, let's say for a holographic Charizard, if there's bids in there, you want there to be several bids. You want them to be close to what you consider the market price to be. And on the flip side, you want people that are willing to sell their Charizard. So they're bringing their Charizard to sell it, and there's multiple asks in there, or many asks. The more orders there are in the order book, the healthier it is for liquidity. And you don't want there to be too much of a spread. Again, if I show up with a Charizard and I say, I'm willing to sell it for 3,000, my friend shows up with Charizard, he's willing to sell it for 3,200. Another friend shows up and they're willing to sell it for 5,000. That is 3 people willing to sell their Charizard. So we're giving our asking price. Now, on the flip side, people are showing up with cash because they want to buy a Charizard. But what happens if 3 people show up looking for a holographic Charizard in the same exact condition that we have, but they say, well, I'm only willing to buy it at $2,000. The next person says, I'm only willing to buy it for $1,500. And the other one says, I'm only willing to buy it for $1,000. Well, that means that there's a big spread of $1,000 between what I'm willing to sell it for and what the highest bid is willing to buy for it. So it's not very likely that an actual trade is going to go and take place. And for you to understand liquidity, think of this. Think of me wanting to get rid of 3 Charizards right now. If I show up to this trade show and I want to get rid of 3 Charizards, I'm going to have to take the bidding price, all 3 of those bidding prices, moving the price down to 1,000, because the last Charizard, the third Charizard that I sell, will only cost $1,000 because that's what the third bid is. And this is why you want a deep order book with a lot of prices, limit orders, whatever you want to call them, that are close to the market price. You want to see that a lot of trading is taking place, and you want to see that the spread is not too high, so that the person who is bringing the Charizard and saying, I'm willing to sell it for X amount, and the person that's saying, well, I'm willing to buy a Charizard for Y amount, that these two amounts are not so spread out and far apart. And another example I want to point out is a lot of times liquid and illiquid markets, they are actually relative to how big an order is. So for example, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, they are all very liquid cryptos because of their high trading volume, depth of the order book, resulting in virtually no spread at all. However, if I am Satoshi Nakamoto and I wake up from my slumber and I have a huge whale wallet in Bitcoin, I forget what percentage he owns, but it's a big percentage of Bitcoin. If Satoshi Nakamoto wishes to sell his entire wallet, all the Bitcoins he owns, he will likely drive the price down to below $1,000 with that just one sell order of everything he has. It might even go close to zero. It would be the most epic rug pull in the history of rug pulls. And why does that occur? Well, because he's going to trigger all the bids that are close to the current price, which is like 45,000, and he's going to keep triggering them until it gets to 35,000, 30,000, 25,000, 20,000, and he will just keep triggering them until he has sold off all of his Bitcoin. But by the time he does, the price will likely be like $100 or $50 or something insane like that. And that is why liquidity is important. For Satoshi Nakamoto, the Bitcoin market is illiquid. For the rest of us that hold 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 Bitcoin, the market is super liquid. Now, some lesser known cryptos, these are the pump and dumps that you typically see on Reddit. These are the same pump and dumps that I get emailed about all the time, begging me to promote them, saying, oh my God, I'll pay you, 10,000 in this crypto, 5,000 in this crypto, which I never do and I never will. That's my promise to you. But there's not enough players, there's not enough volume, and there's not enough interest in these. And that's why a lot of these small cryptos, they are illiquid. As adoption for crypto continues to increase and as more retail and smart money pile in, the more liquidity that will bring to the actual crypto market. Day traders are also highly attracted to liquidity since they can enter and exit a position with ease. So expect them to jump in much more as well. And if you own some small crypto, right, and you see the volume going up and you see that the spread is narrowing and that the order books are deep, this is all healthy signs because, again, it's going to introduce these day traders, even hedge funds. There are a lot of prominent banks now that have trading desks that deal with crypto. And so they usually target the crypto markets, the specific crypto markets or crypto pairs that have a lot of liquidity. So liquidity, very important to know. And in the very near future, I'm going to make a very easy to understand liquidity pool in crypto tutorial. So hopefully you find this type of content to be useful and helpful. If you do, please tell your friends about me. Please leave me a comment, subscribe. Let me know how I did explaining this topic, if I took too long, if it was just right. I'm trying to learn with the rest of you. If you ever spot an error in any of my videos, please let me know as well. So hopefully this helped you get your feet wet in a liquidity. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video, and I appreciate you guys for watching this one and supporting. Cheers.